Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. So we're going to do what's called composite shapes today. Notice that they kind of look like two rectangles that have been like smushed together. And we're going to find the area of these shapes. So it's an extension of what we did yesterday. You just have to be able to find the two shapes. And then once you can distinguish the two shapes, you can figure out, how to find the area based on what we did yesterday. So notice how you can see maybe a rectangle here and then what appears to be maybe a rectangle or a square down here. I like to draw in a line to separate the two, and then you're going to have to figure out what the dimensions are going to be. So we know this is 11, we know this is 4, and this is a rectangle. So remember, to find the area of a rectangle, you simply do the length times the width, or the base times the height. So the area of this rectangle is just going to be 11 times 4, which is 44 centimeters squared. So I just figured out that this top rectangle is 44 square centimeters. Then we have to figure out what's going on down here, what this shape is and what this dimension is. I know this is 5 centimeters, and this is where this can get a little bit tricky. Notice that this is 3 centimeters and this is another 3 centimeters. So total 3 and 3 means that this is 6 centimeters. And I know this entire thing was 11. So if this entire top is 11, this entire bottom is also 11. So to figure out this missing piece from here to here, just my red, I would do the total length, which is 11, minus the little pieces I know, which is 6. And 11 minus 6 means that this little piece here is 5. So this shape down here is a square. It's a 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter square. So to figure out the area, we still just do base times height. So it'd be 5 times 5, which means this area is 25 centimeters squared. So the total area of this shape would just be what you get when you add those two numbers together. So I'm going to do 44 plus 25, and I get that this entire shape is 69 square centimeters. And that is your answer to question number 1. Similarly, I don't even know how to say that. Similarly, if I were to cut this into two shapes and figure out our missing dimensions, we could find the area of this composite shape. So let's see here. I knew this entire thing was 11, and I know this much of it is 5. So basically this much over here is also 5. So if the whole thing's 11 and this much is 5, 11 minus 5 is 6. So that means this much has to be 6, because 5 plus 6 gives me 11. Then they already told us this was 7, and if the bottom is 7, then the top is 7. So if this much is 7 and this much is 6, 7 plus 6 means the entire thing is 7 plus 6, which is 13. So now I have all the dimensions I need. So you're going to have to use like segment addition to figure these out. Like this plus this gives me the entire thing. Or I know the entire thing and I know a little piece of it, so I do the entire thing minus the piece I know to figure it out. Those kind of things. So to get the area of this rectangle, I'm going to do the height and the base. So this entire side is 13. This is 6. So to figure out the area, I would do 13 times 6, which is 78 square feet. And then down here, this rectangle is a 7 by 5. So I would do 7 times 5, which I know is 35 square feet. So to get my total composite area, I would do 78 plus 35, which is 113 square feet. And that would be your answer. So that's what they look like when you maybe have rectangles and squares. So that's examples 1 and 2. Example 3 has a rectangle and a triangle. So again, your first step is to figure out, where am I going to split this thing to make it into two shapes I know how to find the area of. So we could do that. So let's label some missing dimensions here. If I know this left side is 8 in my rectangle, I know my right side is 8. So I'll start there. Then I know this entire bottom of my rectangle is 13. So that means the entire top, just from here to there, is also 13. But they told me from the very back of my shape to the very front of my shape is 19. So to figure out how much this much is, I would do 19, take away 13, which means that this much has to be 6. So I knew that the whole thing was 19. I subtract out the 13, and that has to be 6. So now I should have enough to figure out my areas. So again, I know this is a rectangle. I know the base is 13 and the height is 8. So to figure out this area, I would just do 13 times 8, which is 104. And then my units are, of course, square inches, inches squared. And then I have this triangle here. So remember, to find the area of a triangle, so I'll do that down here. To find the area of a triangle, we do the base times the height divided by 2. So I'm doing base times height divided by 2. The base is 8, because that's the bottom of my triangle, and my height is 6. That's how tall it is. So I'm going to do 8 times 6, divide that by 2. So 48 divided by 2 is 24. So my area is 24 square inches. So to get my total composite area, I'm going to do it down here, I would do 104 from the rectangle plus 24 from the triangle, and I get that my total area is 128 inches squared. And you guys pause this, rewind it. I'm going kind of fast because I only have 15 minutes to record, but you guys can rewind this and slow it down, rewatch it until it makes sense. But the key is to split your shape into the shapes that you know how to find the area of. This next one's kind of crazy, but notice you could split this here, and you have half of a circle here and the other half over here, and a rectangle in the middle. So we know how to find the area of a rectangle and the area of a circle. So this rectangle has a base of 12 and a height of 6. So to find the area, I would just do 12 times 6, which is 72 centimeters squared. Now, to get the area of this circle, well, remember, you need to be able to determine what the radius is. So I know the diameter. The diameter of the circle is 6. The radius is just half of the diameter, so half of 6 means that my radius is just 3. So to get the area of that circle, I do pi times my radius squared. So I will do pi, so 3.14, times my radius, which is 3, squared. So let's see what that becomes. 3.14 times 3 squared. And you get 28.26. Now that's both pieces. Pretend for a second this piece wasn't here. If I just wanted to find this half of a circle, I would just divide this 28.6 by 2. I think you need to know that for your worksheet. So again, if I just wanted to figure out what half of a circle was, I would just divide this by 2. And let me show you what that looks like. So this would be 14.13. So I would know that this piece was 14.13 and this piece is 14.13 because both, that's a half of a circle and a half of a circle. So now let's find the composite area. So my left half circle was 14.13, my rectangle in the middle was 72, and my other half of my circle was 14.13. So when I add all those up, I get that the composite area, the total area of the whole shape, is 100.26 square centimeters. And that is your answer to number 4. All right, let's do the last two. So these last two, the directions on these are find the area of the shaded part. So it's a little bit different. Let me make this smaller. So this is number 5. I'm actually going to start with number 6. The rectangle one's easier. So to get the area of just the shaded part, I'm going to find the area of the whole big rectangle and subtract out the area of the little rectangle, and that'll give me the shaded part. So the area of the big rectangle, I'll abbreviate, I would do base times height, and so the base of the big rectangle is 11, and the height is 8. So I would do 11 times 8, and I get 88 square inches. The area of that smaller rectangle, the base is 9, and the height of that one is 6. So I would do 9 times 6, which is 54. To get the area of just the shaded part, I'm going to do the bigger one, which was 88, minus the smaller rectangle, which was 54. And 88 minus 54 makes the area of the shaded part just 34 square inches. So this is my actual answer. That's the area of just the shaded piece. All right, I'm going to go back to question 5. So to get the area of the shaded part here, you're going to have to find the entire circle, its area, and subtract out the area of the triangle. All right, so remember, to find the area of a circle, I need the radius. I know the diameter is 16. So the radius is half of 16, which is 8. So to get the area of that circle, I'm going to do pi times the radius squared. So in this problem, it would be 3.14 times 8 squared, which is 201.06. Now here is the part that's a little bit tricky, is to find the area of a triangle, I have to know the base, which I do. It's 16. The bottom of my triangle is 16. It looks like I don't know my height, but I do, because that's just really the same as the radius. It's the center to the outside of the circle. So that is also 8. So the height of this triangle is also 8. So to find the area of the triangle, like I said, so the area of the triangle, we do the base times the height, divide that by 2. So the area of our triangle, our base is 16, times our height is 8, divide it by 2, and you should get that it's 64 meters squared. So now to get the area of just the shaded part, I'm going to do the area of the big circle, which we said was 201.06, subtract out the area the triangle takes up, which is 64, and you should get 137.06 meters squared. So to do these shaded ones, do the area of the big shape first, whatever it is, and subtract out the area of the white shape, the smaller shape. And that'll give you the area of the shaded parts. And I think that is it. So now you should have your notes filled in, and you can complete the composite area practice. When you get finished with this, turn it into the turn-in tray, and then finish up some more ALEKS topics. You should have finished through question number 8 on ALEKS by tomorrow. If you do not finish this worksheet today in class, it is due tomorrow, and I will take questions Wednesday morning when we return. So good luck, have fun, be good, stay off those phones, get something done. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.